I will never forget the night we found Aunty Kemi's body. Her mouth was open, stretched wider than should be humanly possible, like something had forced it apart. Her tongue was gone. No blood, no wounds, just an empty space where it should have been. Aunty Kemi was the village gossip. She knew everything about everyone, even things she shouldn't know. People feared her tongue more than any spirit or curse. If a secret passed through her ears, the whole village would hear of it before sunrise. She loved sitting by her doorstep, watching people go by, pulling them into conversations they didn't want to have. Did you hear what happened to Chief's son? Or, I know why Mama Amora hasn't been sleeping at home. She whispered like the wind, her voice sneaking into every corner of our small village. Nobody was safe from her mouth. One evening, I passed by her house, and she called me over. Chidi, come. Let me tell you something. I hesitated. I had learned from a young age never to listen to her stories. My mother always warned me, a tongue that wags too much will one day be cut off. But that day, curiosity got the better of me. She leaned in, her breath hot and thick with the scent of palm wine. Do you know why Madam Ifeoma's baby never cries? I shook my head, hoping she would let me go. She grinned, her teeth stained from years of chewing kola nuts. Because it is not a real baby. She went to the old river to get it. The child is a spirit. A water thing. A cold chill ran down my spine. I didn't want to hear anymore. I muttered an excuse and ran home. That night, the drums at the village square sounded louder than usual. A deep, rhythmic beat that made my chest tighten. The elder said it was the river people calling, reminding us that some things should not be spoken about. I tried to sleep, but something felt wrong. The air was heavy, thick like the sky before a storm. Then I heard it. A scream. Long and sharp, cutting through the night like a knife. The next morning, we found Aunty Kemi on her doorstep, her mouth unnaturally open, her tongue missing. The whispering mouth had finally been silenced. And deep in the distance, near the river, I swore I heard laughter. After Aunty Kemi's death, the village fell into an eerie silence. People whispered, but only in the safety of their homes. No one wanted to be the next to lose their tongue. My mother forbade me from leaving the house after dark. You see now, Chidi. The spirits are watching. Aunty Kemi talked too much. She paid the price. I nodded, but the unease in my chest didn't leave. My mind kept going back to what she had told me about Madam Ifeoma's baby. What if it was true? What if Aunty Kemi had spoken about something she shouldn't have? 3 nights after her death, I was lying in bed when I heard soft footsteps outside my window. My heart pounded as I peeked through the wooden slats. A woman stood there, wrapped in a dark cloth. I couldn't see her face, but I knew who it was. Madam Ifeoma. She stood still for a long time, just breathing. Then, in a voice barely above a whisper, she said, "You must not repeat what she told you, Chidi." I felt frozen, unable to respond. Then, I saw it. The bundle in her arms moved. Not like a baby stretching, but like something shifting unnaturally beneath the cloth. I shut my eyes, praying she would leave. When I opened them again, she was gone. But the fear remained. The next morning, I found something outside my window. A single human tongue, lying in the dirt. I wanted to believe it was all a warning, that if I stayed silent, nothing else would happen. But the unease in my chest never left. I felt watched, as if something lingered just out of sight, waiting for me to speak the wrong words. Days passed, and the village remained quiet. Too quiet. No gossip, no laughter, only hushed voices and darting eyes. Even the market women, who once shouted their prices with pride, now whispered as if afraid something might hear. One evening, as I walked home from fetching water, I saw something by the riverbank. A figure, tall, thin, and swaying as though caught in an unseen wind. My breath caught in my throat. It had no face. Or maybe it did, but it was blurred, shifting, as if it refused to take shape. And then it spoke, not with words, but with a sound that made my bones tremble. A wet, gargling whisper. I dropped my water pot and ran. That night, I told my mother what I had seen. Her face darkened with fear. The river remembers, Chidi, she whispered. It remembers those who speak too much. I barely slept, haunted by nightmares of the faceless figure, of voices hissing in my ears, warning me to stay silent. But the worst came the following morning. Outside our home, in the same spot where I had found the tongue, lay something else. Aunty Kemi's voice, trapped in the wind, whispering my name. By the time the sun rose, I was too afraid to step outside. My mother found me curled in a corner, shivering. Chidi, what is wrong with you? She asked. I told her everything, the faceless figure, Madame Ifeoma's warning, the whispering voice in the wind. Her face grew pale, and she grabbed my shoulders tightly. You must never go near the river again. Do you hear me? I nodded, but deep inside, I knew something wasn't right. The village was still silent, too silent, as if everyone was waiting for something terrible to happen. That evening, I sat outside, watching the road. Then, I saw them. Two figures standing at the edge of the village. Their faces were hidden by shadows, their bodies still as trees. They were watching me. I blinked, and they were gone. I ran inside, my heart pounding. Mama, they were here. They were watching me. She rushed to the door, but the road was empty. You must pray, Chidi, she whispered. Because whatever has come for you, it will not leave without taking something. And that night, in my sleep, I felt cold fingers touch my lips. The next morning, I woke up to a strange feeling in my throat. My voice felt weak, my tongue heavy. I tried to call for my mother, but my voice came out in a whisper. I rushed to the mirror and opened my mouth. My tongue was still there, but something was wrong. It was turning black. The silence in the village deepened, but the river grew louder. It whispered in my ears at night, calling my name, begging me to come closer.